to a DSP Endure video. It's I did record this before, but I didn't really like the recording of it, so I'm re-recording it, guys. I'm fucking doing everything. So let's watch this. The title is "I've been laid off again." My explanation, thoughts, and more. But he said he wasn't fired, but laid off is a polite way of saying late getting fired. So let's get right into it, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Phil here, and this is going to be a hard one. This is going to be one that it's going to be hard for me to find the right words and or to say exactly how I'm feeling or express what's going on in the situation right now. All right, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot to be said. The best comparison that I can make right now with what's going on with me,
Right now.
okay, a direct comparison would be back in late 2010. So for those of you who are not longtime viewers, aren't aware of my full history on YouTube or anything like that, or what's happened with me over the years,
But we know
I
what
started
happened.
out on
Like,
YouTube.
the thing is that everyone that went to see this video, be it when he streamed it or wherever, knows his life story. He said it. He says it in every single vlog. But whatever.
Part-timer. I made
Let's
videos as
continue.
like a couple hours a day, maybe 2 hours a day. I would record videos of gameplay. You know, way before direct capture or anything like that. I would just have a camera that I would put on the side of my TV. I would record and upload to YouTube after I got home from.
By the way, look how nice this layout looks compared to his weekend preview and his Ask the King, where it has that tacky ass border that takes half the screen. Like, why can't he do most videos like this? Why is it only his begging videos that have to be done like this?
Job. I had a 9-to-5 office job, which quite honestly wasn't a 9-to-5 office job. It was more like a 8-to-7 office job where they expected me to do work at home too. But I digress there. I worked at this job for about 5 years, and YouTube was always my hobby. I never even thought about monetizing videos or, you know, back then there was no live streaming like this. Didn't even exist, okay? So, you know, in late 2010, after being at this job for 5 years and doing YouTube as a side thing, I got laid off from my job out of nowhere. Okay, out of nowhere, no warning signs, no hints, no kind of.
Does he think that like there's gonna be constant warning signs about getting fired? People get fired all the time. It has nothing to do with like that's the thing. When you get fired, like it's either due to your performance or if they have to lay off people to stay afloat or whatever. Like there's a lot of reasons that can go into why someone gets fired. And it's just like, well, there was no hints. They didn't tell me that I was gonna get fired. They don't really give you a I don't know. I can't say. It's just I don't think it's something that people can like predict all the time that they're gonna get fired. They can get a feeling that they can get fired, sure, but I mean it's not always gonna be telegraphed to you.
Even let me give you perspective. I worked at this job for 5 years, and a month before I got laid off, I got a recommendation, an actual piece of paper that said, we are commending you for going above and beyond the call of duty at your office job. Here it is. Then the whole company restructured, and within 1 month of that happening, they laid me off.
Yeah, like that doesn't really mean that they laid you off because of your performance then. From what that sounded like, they were like, well, we need to lay off people to stay afloat, and they laid him off because he either wasn't a valuable department that he was in, or a valuable enough employee to keep him on. Just because you get an award doesn't mean that, like, oh, you're the best. Like, I mean, I know I'm gonna get like a lot of comments now when I say this, but you know, Obama got awards. Does that mean he was the best president of all time? No. I mean, yeah. Even though I'm like kind of a Obama fan, like I don't mind. I don't think he's that bad of a president. I wouldn't say he's the best because he gets an award. He got a Nobel Peace Prize or whatever. He's amazing. Like no. Just because you get an award doesn't mean that you're like the best of the best or that you have some worth to people. Just because he got an award doesn't mean that he cannot get fired. Like, yeah, it's shitty, sure, but it doesn't give you any immunity to anything.
Out of nowhere. Now, at that time, I had just bought a condo in Connecticut. I had a car payment. I had
But
all
why
this
would
debt
he?
in my name.
Why would he buy a condo? TBH, like to me, is that from what I understand from a condo, it's something that you pay like you pay a mortgage on it, like a house, whatever. That kind of stuff to me is when you're ready to settle down and you have a stable job. When you're young, you're not gonna get a stable job when you're like 20. You're gonna go to job, and roughly. I mean, usually you would start to consider finding a stable job, like for sure that you're gonna stay there until you retire. Would be like in your 30s or so. I mean, yeah, there are some exceptions to the rule. Some people might get a job earlier, some people might get a job later, whatever. That's fine. But usually, when you're in that kind of period, you want to live in a place that's not finalized like that, where you pay rent. Like he should have stayed at an apartment, if anything, because an apartment you have that flexibility of staying there and then moving out and all this kind of stuff. It's not like you're stuck in one place.
And there was no real jobs in the industry that I was doing. Aeronautics is what it was, helicopters and stuff like that were hiring. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. What happened is I came home and I sat down on my couch, much like I'm doing right now. This was the old brown couch back in, the condo in Connecticut. And I sat down and I just said, you know what? I'm just going to film this. I'm going to talk about how I feel. I'm going to disclose what's going on.
He's gonna disclose. He's
And
gonna tell us.
I'm gonna see what happens, And at that time, I just kind of bore my soul, and that video ended up going
Bore
viral
my
for
soul. I don't really get that saying. I'm used to people saying I pour my soul, like you pour it in, or I put all my soul into it, etc., etc. Bore, I've never heard anyone. If anything, that sounds like you're boring, because it's bore, BORE, like that's what it comes. That's what it sounds like to me.
Not necessarily super viral, but you know what I mean? Like a lot of people watched it, and that pretty much spearheaded the entire movement of people saying we would love to see.
I don't hear that
entire
again.
Movement watched it, and for not necessarily super viral, but you know what I mean? Like a lot of people watched it, and that pretty much spearheaded the entire movement of people saying we would love to see Phil do YouTube full time. Phil's the guy, the underdog. He's the guy who just
he's the underdog, guys.
He does it a couple hours a day. We see him. He toughs it out at work, and he comes home and gaming is his release from that stress from work.
He toughs it out, guys. He's the underdog. Oh man, we want him to have this as his full-time job. What? Okay.
And he doesn't do it for money, right?
He doesn't do it for money, but we want it to be a job for him.
Phil be successful, and it was since then it just exploded.
Okay.
I became exponentially popular on YouTube for vlogging. At first, it was funny because at first I had no idea what I was gonna do because you couldn't really monetize.
No idea
back then. Okay, and so I didn't know what I was gonna do. Now I had a vlogging channel, and I monetized the vlogging channel, and that vlogging channel blew up, and then YouTube took the ads off of it, saying that it had grown so exponentially with views and people clicking on ads and stuff, there's no way that it was legit, and they kicked me out of that. Then I went to Blip TV, a competitor of YouTube's, because they allowed monetization of gameplay videos, and I was kicked off of that website within a month. Admittedly, I'll look back now.
I'll hear that again.
People clicking on ads and stuff, there's no way that it was legit, and they kicked me out of that. Then I went to Blip TV.
Let's doing that shit again.
I had no idea what I was going to do, because you couldn't really monetize gameplay videos back then. Okay. And so I didn't know what I was going to do. Now I had a vlogging channel, and I monetized the vlogging channel, and that vlogging channel blew up, and then YouTube took the ads off of it, saying that it had grown so exponentially with views and people clicking on ads and stuff, there's no way that it was legit, and they kicked me out of that.
They kicked him out because he did a video that literally him saying, click on the ads. He told people to click on the ads so he can get money, etc. etc. He did a video like that, and that's why they kicked him off. But the Philly, that doesn't come off as suspicious. Like he did literally say that. There's a video of it online if you look for it. This video will be a long ass video, so I'm not gonna put that in there. I'll put the link to the video in the description. I'll be fair and do that.
Then I went to Blip TV, a competitor of YouTube's, because they allowed monetization of gameplay videos, and I was kicked off of that website within a month. Admittedly, you know, I'll look back now for doing stupid shit. You know, I made some jokes and things on there that were racist, and honestly, were they funny? Yes and no. They were funny if you...
No, they weren't funny. The thing is that I saw this video. Like, this is like my third time watching this video. He's gonna try to say like, well, you gotta know I'm not a racist. But the thing is that what's not funny about it was, man, what wasn't funny about it was that it went on for so long. Like, the thing is with these kind of jokes, these risky jokes, you gotta know the timing and you gotta know how far you can go with it. Because if you go too far, it can also turn people off. If you go on for too long, it turns people off. And he went on for a long time pretending to be a Nazi. And that kind of stuff would not fly. Like, you know, when you look at like South Park and those kind of shows, wherever, when they do risky humor like that, it's usually there and it just moves along. It doesn't hammer the point in for like a long ass time. Like, I rewatched an episode about the thing that happened to Kramer from Seinfeld. The one where Stan's dad said the N-word. Like, it didn't like hold on to that beat for too long. There was a lot of other plots going on. There was other like bits of dialogue that moved the jokes forward. It did not linger on, you know, oh, Randy said the N-word, and it didn't linger on that a lot. Yeah, it was pivotal to the story, but it moved along. It didn't overstay its welcome. Like, it wasn't like, oh, Randy is still saying the N-word over and over. Oh, man, this is funny that he said it like 5 times. Like, no, he said it once, and then it moved on. Then the joke was like, oh, no, it was naggers. And, like, the joke was there already. It didn't linger the joke. It didn't have the joke go on for hours and hours and hours. That's how I feel about it. And then a lot of people are like, well, a lot of people are just sensitive, and this is fake outrage. And it's like, no, because it's a understandable criticism of Phil. I can understand why people like either kind of like that joke, I guess, or they completely get offended by it. But you gotta understand that that context won't save you completely. Because yeah, like I'm not saying that Phil's a racist and he, you know, wears swastikas and all. I wouldn't say that. It's just, I think he was trying to be funny. It's just that it came off racist because of how long he played it out. But
took it in regards to
That was a
me
long
knowing that I
rant.
was not a racist and I was just doing it as a parody of something that had happened on a radio show, the Howard Stern show. But in retrospect, I can look back
oh
now
yeah,
and say, man,
yeah.
did
If Howard Stern can do it, I can do it too. No, like, no, that's not how comedy works. The other thing is that with Howard Stern, he probably has a lot of talented writers, and that bit probably didn't go for too long. I would assume. I haven't really listened to the Howard Stern show, so I can't really say for sure. But you know, it's a fucking different thing, and at the same time, Howard Stern is a big entity compared to Phil. So, you know, Howard Stern, if he pisses some people off, yeah, it's gonna be like, you know, a few people. He'll still get a lot of views. A guy like Phil says it's gonna like fucking strike.
fuck up. I should never done stuff like that, especially when you're going to a new platform like Blip and you're getting set up. Why the hell did I do that? All right. So
Why did I
screwed
do
up. I
that?
got kicked off of Blip TV. And, you know, in retrospect, maybe that was a good thing because guess what? Blip TV doesn't even exist anymore. They went out of business. Okay.
Out of
And then
business,
eventually what
Freddy.
happened was I got partnered with Machinima. There was a person on YouTube who I had been in kind of almost a feud with
I think that's Toby Turner.
over gameplay and stuff. And at that point, he was big with Machinima. And he was working for Machinima. Back then, they were this big partnership company, this big MCN, they're called. And basically, he got word of what had happened with me and all the stuff that I was going through and the fact that I was trying to make a living doing video games and videos for YouTube or whatever. And he contacted me personally and said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you in contact with, you know, someone at Machinima and we'll see what we can do. And it just so happened, it was like the perfect timing, the perfect storm, okay? It just so happened that at this time, gameplay videos were being monetized on YouTube for the very first time. So Machinima partnered me, and immediately I started monetizing my gameplay videos, and it blew up. and I became super popular on YouTube. And the
Super
rest is
popular.
history, right? And yeah, we've had our ups and downs. Where I was very stubborn. I've been very stubborn. I'll be honest. I am a stubborn guy. I have a certain code that I live up to, that I hold myself to, and I have certain standards and things that I try to adhere to regularly on YouTube. And
regularly
a lot of
on YouTube
have changed since 2011. I mean, let's face it, the whole website's different. The whole mentality of the common viewer is different. The whole business model is different. And really, if you look at what I do, I haven't really changed. I'm still doing raw gameplay
He hasn't
videos.
changed.
I'm still doing it my way.
He hasn't changed. Isn't that the problem, though? Maybe that's why he's in this situation, because he hasn't changed.
And in a lot of ways, that's why I've kind of faded, as much as I have. I would say faded into obscurity, except it's not. I still exist. That's the thing. I still have a presence.
He still exists
on YouTube. It's just that I never really get that popularity anymore. You know what I mean? But I have this hardcore fan base that follows me around no matter what I do, that appreciates what I do, that supports me no matter what I do, and I'm incredibly appreciative of that.
No, no, honestly, I'm sorry, but I don't think he's that appreciative. Like, every other video, like, I mean, he's probably more appreciative now because he needs the money. But, like, when he was, like, making enough money, or when he wasn't having these issues, he's never appreciative. He called his viewers lazy. He said that, they were making excuses for why they don't show up to streams, and saying all this stuff, and he's not appreciative. He keeps telling his fans to not take him for granted. That's not something that people say when they're appreciative. Like, I'm appreciative that I get people to watch my videos. I'm very appreciative. I'm not gonna say, guys, don't take me for granted. I could go anytime, and you're not gonna have videos from me. That's a terrible. That would be a shitty thing to say. Like, if I said that, why would he watch my videos? Like, oh, this guy thinks that he's entitled to our view or whatever. I mean, it's kind of a stretch of a conclusion to come to, sure, but it's still shitty just to tell your fans that you're taking. Don't take me for granted, guys, and then saying all these things that kind of allude to him wanting to get money for what he does. He doesn't sound appreciative at all. He sounds appreciative only when he needs the money, and that's what this is. He needs money. He's lost his partnership. So what do you think is gonna please people the most? Him telling people don't take him for granted, or him saying I'm very appreciative? Like, that's what I mean. Like, it doesn't sound appreciative because he only brings it up when he needs money. He never brings up how he appreciates people when he's not struggling. That's the problem. Like, Mega 64, I know you guys are fucking tired of it. But they're so appreciative, and because they bring it up when they're not struggling for money. Like, they always say, like, oh, we like to thank our fans for showing up to our booth, and we're sorry for those who got kicked out, who couldn't get into the booth because the panel was full or whatever. Like, they're very appreciative, and they're very modest and appreciative of who follows them. This guy never sounds appreciative at all. He only sounds that way when he does vlogs like this because he knows this will get the sympathy. That's why he does this. And that's the problem that I have with him when he does these kind of videos.
And so for the past 6+ years, right, through thick and thin, through highs and lows, I have been partnered with Machinima. As the company that would put ads on my videos, and they make the ad revenue, and I get a cut of it, or I get paid per view. I've had various contracts with them. And there's been awesome things that Machinima has done for me. They flew me to E3 in 2012 to cover E3, but not really. It was really for promotion for this game called Hawken, which is hilarious because the game never went anywhere, and still to this day, it's funny because they relaunched it like last year or something. It's like crazy. You're relaunching a game from 2012 and 2016 or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. They flew me to E3. Over the years, they've helped me out with numerous issues with copyright strikes, with people stealing my content. With all kinds of stuff.
Guys, I'm stealing his content. I'm watching the video live on his fucking channel. I'm stealing his content, guys. I'm taking the video off his channel and putting it on some other channel. And you can't watch it on his channel anymore because I stole it, guys. Whatever.
Okay.
It is what it is.
But after 6 years of this relationship with Machinima, it has come to an end. All right. Now,
The end is here.
today, like I said, I actually feel today exactly like I did in 2010. That day when I came home and I had gotten laid off from my job. All right. Not to say
Man.
that the parting with Machinima was because necessarily they cut me. It's not the truth. The truth is that it was pretty much a mutual agreement.
Mutual
between
agreement.
the two of us. A lingering kind of a feeling that's been going on for a long
A
time.
lingering kind of a feeling. I really want you to dive back into all these videos. Oh, hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this, guys. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, vlogs. I could have done it. Whatever. Oh well. We're doing this. It's a field trip, guys. Let's see. Where is it? Need your feedback. I think it's this one.
Okay, what's up, everyone? Ad revenue. I don't have to worry about. Glad, thank God. And people say to me, why are you still with Machinima? Partnered networks are a thing of the past. Well, 2 reasons. Number one, because I'm with Machinima under a managed partnership, I have a lot of protections from things like Content ID.
Content
One of the
ID.
reasons why people have a lot of problems doing videos for YouTube. When they want to do gameplays, they get Content ID matches up the ass. Music from over here. Nintendo stealing every possible video that you made ever about Nintendo and claiming all the revenue on them. Content ID is a huge problem for someone who's not with a partnered network. Because I'm a managed partner, I get no Content ID matches, and I get ad revenue on all of my videos. So that's a...
See how he's like, oh, I'm with Machinima. Did that sound like he had a lingering feeling that he was not going to be with Machinima anymore? Yeah, okay.
Okay.
A mutual
basically, let me put it this
feeling.
way. I cannot fully
That's such a
disclose
load of
all
shit.
the things behind the scenes. Okay? I can't. And I also fully cannot disclose specific details about what's going on.
Details.
All right? I can't. I can't tell you the full story. I can eventually. So eventually, I will tell you the full story of what happened in this particular
Like, I
situation.
just don't get this, like, oh, we had a mutual feeling, it was a feeling that was going on, but in the video, like, a few days before he uploaded, he did this. He said, this is why I'm still with Machinima, guys! I'm not gonna leave Machinima, I love Machinima! Oh man, no hashtag party for me, like, whatever that fucking joke was he said at the end. Like, but now it's like, well, it was a feeling. Yeah, okay.
With Machinima. All right?
Keep telling
I
yourself
will
that,
eventually.
Phil.
But I can't do that today. All right?
You can't do that today,
because
guys.
of a reason, which I can tell you the reason. The way that it works, when you sever a contract with a partnership company, one of two things can happen. All right? Either that company is a pain in the ass and will drag their feet and won't release your channels or whatever from the agreement, which has happened with a lot of partnership companies. I've heard a lot of horror stories out there about people who've partnered their YouTube channels with the company and they didn't like the company or the company didn't like them. Either way, it goes both ways. But the company basically was kind of dragging their feet and would not sever that partnership agreement, which was a nightmare for the content creator because then you can't go to a new company. You can't seek out a new deal or whatever. You know what I mean? And you're kind of stuck in limbo. And you don't know, gee, now this company doesn't even like me. Are they going to pay me or whatever, right?
So what about,
So here's the deal. Here's the truth of the matter. I can't tell you the specifics, but here's what I can tell you. Basically, my contracts with Machinima are over. All right. Now, I have all 3 channels on YouTube partnered with Machinima.
Look at this.
GSP
See,
Games is my main bread and butter. It's where I put all the raw gameplay
this
every
video
single
is
day.
something. I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason why I'm kind of like reluctant doing this video right now, like I'm kind of, I don't know even if I'm gonna upload this. I probably will, but this is the biggest nothing video I've ever seen, and it's just torture. It's torture at this point.
That's the big money maker for him.
Like he
King
says
Hate
the same
Vlogs
stuff
has always
over and
been
over.
my ongoing vlogging channel, but has never been any kind of a significant income source. That channel, at most, makes a couple $100s a month. Okay, and KO Gaming, the new channel. It's only been there for a year. I'm doing edited content on it, and it's had highs and lows. Sometimes it's profitable, sometimes it's not. It all depends. All 3 of those channels have been partnered with Machinima. All right.
Okay.
Well, those partnerships are ending. Now, the way it works is there's a contractual agreement between myself and Machinima.
Contractual agreement.
They can't just end it, and I can't just end it. Literally, we can't just say it ends right now. The contractual agreement states that there's a time period that my channels stay partnered, okay? And so those time periods have to expire. And once those time periods expire, what'll happen is the partnership status or the managed partnership status will be removed from my channels. And basically, I'm a free agent again.
Free agent! He's an agent, dude!
My channels. It's not like, nothing bad against the copyright strikes, nothing like that at all. But what happens is, advertisements obviously are gone, and then it's up to me to make a decision, all right, whether or what I want to do with my channels. Do I want to, number one, just go completely freelance, meaning I don't want to partner with anyone. I just want to be myself. And what I would have to do is apply for the YouTube AdSense program on my channels, try to get advertisements approved for the channels independently, all right? So without any partnership. There's a loud noise outside. Sounds like a giant truck. Oh, I know what it is. They forgot to pick up our recycling yesterday, so they're probably coming right now to do it, I bet.
This is so...
Like. Yep,
it's so funny that he shits on, I know it's kind of shitty for me to say. That's so funny, but... he shits on the average YouTube viewer for having ADD and all this stuff, and there he's having ADD. It's like, okay, I'm talking about my business. Up! What's that noise? Oh, sounds like a trash can. Sounds like a trash... Is it... You know what it is? They've got to take the recycling. Yeah, that's what it is. Man, keep your attention focused, Phil. You're
exactly what it is. That's why you hear that beeping. All right. Anyway, so I could be a free agent, meaning
you could be a free agent, guys,
on my own. All right. I don't partner with anyone, and I basically try to just put ads on my videos for myself. Okay, and that is incredibly risky. All right.
Incredibly
for a big
risky,
YouTuber, if I were making millions of views on every video that I put out, it would be a lot less risky. And the reason why it's risky is a couple reasons. Number one, because of YouTube's content ID match system. If you're not aware, YouTube has a system in place where when you upload a video, it auto searches certain videos for music, visual content, etc. Things that basically are copyright flagged in their system. And if you have anything in there, if you have a song playing in the background of a game you're playing that happens to be copywritten, and the company who produces the song or distributes the song has a deal with Machinima to basically not have that music in anyone's videos, your video will get flagged, and therefore you'll have no advertisements on that video and make no money on it at all. That's number one. That's one of the biggest issues. Number two would be Nintendo. Nintendo claims everything on YouTube. Everything on YouTube. If you're not in a managed partnership. Okay, a managed partnership means that your partnership company who you're partnered with is vouching for you and saying, yes,
we get this. Jesus, come.
You cannot claim them for whatever.
Why is this in the video? Why is he talking about this?
I probably, honestly, would never be able to play a Nintendo game again.
Oh my god.
Because anything I do with Nintendo would be flagged and, screwed. I would get no ad revenue on it whatsoever. This is a big issue with in particular.
See, this is the biggest issue with this video. It's nothing but redundancy. It's redundancy. The video,
not a managed partnership with anyone, and he always had his Nintendo stuff flagged to the point where he said, "I had enough," and he stopped. He just stopped putting out Nintendo content, and that would have to basically be kind of a choice that I'd have to make. I mean, if that is the case, if I go independent, that's what I would have to do. All right. Number three, the other big thing is issues with copyright, my channel, and anything like that. Right now, when I was partnered with Machinima, I would go to them for those issues. And in fact, this past week, I was working with them on this issue where ad revenue was way down on DSP Gaming, and there didn't seem to be any logical explanation as to why, and YouTube wasn't giving any answers as to why. And this is part of the reason, one of the reasons why this split with Machinima happened. All right. But again, I can't fully disclose the whole situation until basically these contracts that I have with Machinima expire, which I will explain a little bit coming up, the time periods and everything.
Oh my god, dude.
So
this video.
without a partnership with anyone, if I'm independent and I just put ads on my own videos, there's high potential that if a copyright strike comes through or whatever, that I won't be able to get help. I won't have a direct contact with YouTube. Yeah, there's an email address you can write YouTube for help, but more than likely they're just going to say you just got to adhere to the standard copyright appeals process, which is 2 weeks, and yada yada yada. So there's a big risk if I go into this,
yeah, big risk. He has to be like the rest of us, guys. I thought you didn't want to get special treatment, Phil. What happened to that?
And these contracts expire with Machinima. If I just decide to go into this for myself and put ads on my videos independently, there's huge risk involved.
Independently.
Right? So obviously, what I'm going to want to do, or at least what I'm seeking to do, would be to get partnered with another company. All right? Now, getting partnered with another company. First of all, I have a channel. DSP Gaming is huge. It still brings in, compared to most other YouTube channels, way more views. I'll give you an idea. I think it still brings in 1 to 2 million views a month. All right, is that insanely huge? Absolutely not. But compared to the average, person who uses YouTube, it's huge. All right,
huge.
And the fact that it's got a following of tens of thousands of people, and yeah, they don't all actively watch every video, but it's got reach, and it makes revenue. It does. It makes money.
Money.
Yeah, DSP Gaming could be partnered with another company, all right? But no matter what, I can tell you this, no matter what happens, all right?
Take a sip. Whatever happens.
No matter what happens, I'm going to make less money. Again. And I know this is horrible because already I'm in a situation here.
Again, you would think that he would get a job at this point. Like really? Like but we'll get to that. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Where last year, for some reason, YouTube changed something and my views dipped out of nowhere. Okay? And ad revenue was already down, and we don't know why. And I was working on trying to get an answer on that when all this happened behind the scenes with Machinima. And now that my contract with Machinima is expiring, okay, no matter who I go to, no one's going to give me as lucrative of terms that I had with Machinima. That's the bottom line. The reason, I'll be honest here, there's been a lot of ups and downs with Machinima over the years. There's a lot of times when I've been unhappy with them, okay? And I don't necessarily talk about it publicly because the bottom line is they're my bread and butter. They're the ones paying me, right? So even though there's some things I wasn't happy about, I didn't necessarily come over here and vent in a video about it or whatever. But there have been many times during my tenure with 6+ years with Machinima that there's been reasons why I wanted to leave them. In fact, I almost left them twice. I was in talks with other companies twice to leave them because of stuff that was going on behind the scenes. And every single time, the main reason I stayed with Machinima is because of the money. They always offered me the most lucrative deal. They always said, listen, you've been with us for a while. Here's the contract we're going to give you. Here's what we're going to give you. All right? And
here's what we're going to give you, all right?
It convinced me to stay. And, in a lot of ways, I think that was the right thing to do. I could have jumped ship a long time ago. And let's be honest here.
He could have jumped ship. He had so many other options. Like, Screenwave approached him. He was like, nah, dude, I like Machinima. Fuck off. And now look where he is. I mean, he didn't literally tell him to fuck off. He turned him down, be it maybe professionally or not. I don't know. He turned him down because he liked Machinima at the time.
Be honest here, okay? Machinima, does anyone talk about them anymore?
Look at this.
You know what I mean? A lot of people contact me and say, Phil, why are you still...
I love how he was like, he loved Machinima before. I showed you the video where he loved Machinima. And now it's like, Machinima, does anyone really talk about them anymore? It's like, he's kind of slightly shitting on them. And I think ultimately, I said this like earlier this week, as I'm recording this, that he's slowly more and more shitting on Machinima. Slightly. He, like, on the weekend preview he said that, there was an impasse with Machinima and this and that. So, he's slowly kind of building up some resentment or anger towards them. So, once these contracts are donezo, gone for good, we will see the true face of DSP and his opinions on Machinima once he leaves Machinima completely. Because right now, obviously, he's not gonna shit on them directly because right now he's still getting paid by them until this period is over, And I think once his period is over, he will go on full shit mode against Machinima. I have a hunch. I have a hunch he's gonna shit on them.
Partnered with Machinima.
I mean, like, look
Why,
at this.
Machinima? Like,
Who's
they
talking
were
about
big
Machinima anymore?
from
The-
2000 to like 2013.
Fuck you,
And then they fell
Machinima.
off the map. There was a lot of controversy. Remember, there's a lot of things that happened with Machinima over the years. With they did sponsorship deals that weren't disclosed.
I just have a hunch
properly and
he's
all
gonna
that, which I
shit
was
on
never
them.
involved in. And
Uh,
again, that was one of the major reasons I stayed with
coming
Machinima.
up.
They were paying me the most,
so
and
we'll see.
I wasn't involved in any of the controversy. I didn't have issues with them. They didn't have issues with me. I wasn't ever in a sponsorship opportunity that went sour or anything like that. None of
And
that.
like, Machinima is kind of a big company still. Like, people still talk about them. Like, there was that whole thing with Warner Brothers buying out Machinima. If Machinima was a small-time company, that news wouldn't be big news. I mean, everyone was talking about it. I think Machinima is still a big name. It's just, it's not big in the sense of it's the only partner company anymore. And personally, even then, as partnership companies go, I don't really know a lot of them. I never heard of Screenwave before people started talking about them because Phil might have been partnered with them. I never heard about, like, these other companies that I don't even remember the names of that he's going to bring up in this video. I never heard of these companies. So, except for Maker. I heard about Maker Studios. I heard about that. And maybe Powblock, if Powblock is a partnership company.
So there was no reason for me to want to quit Machinima. But let's face it, it's 2017. Does anyone talk about Machinima anymore?
Look at
No.
this.
And you say,
Oh, they're not a big
you look at
company
partnership
anymore.
companies, and you hear about all the other big guys. Who are the big guys out there now for gaming? You hear about Full Screen. You hear about Curse.
Never heard of these people.
Maker Studios. Although I've heard that Maker Studios is
Except for
falling
Maker
apart, and
Studios.
they're going to lay a bunch of people off. Holy shit, that's terrible.
But Maker is part of
Um,
Disney, so
But you hear about these big companies. What was the other one? There's Broadband TV. There's, oh god, there's one other big one too. There's one other really big one. Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. Those are the ones everyone talks about now. Those are the ones that the majority of people on YouTube who are doing videos, they're who you're partner with, right? Machinima really doesn't honestly have much relevance anymore. And the bottom line is Machinima as a company has had an identity crisis. They don't know what they want to be. Are they a YouTube partnership company? Are they a media company that produces videos for the internet? Are they a sponsorship company? They have all these things going on, but it seems like they're so diversified, right? They don't have a focus on
diversified.
anything. So it would be hard for you to even say this is what they are. You can't. What are they?
They're a partnership company. That's what they are. Like, what does that mean? Oh, they're so diversified. Like, what is Machinima diversifying with? Are they making fucking smartphones? OS, like operating systems? Like, what makes them say that? Because the only thing I know of Machinima is that they're a partnership company. What are they diversifying themselves with? Different kind of videos? But that's just different kind of videos. That doesn't change that they're a partnership company. Just saying.
I don't know. What is Machinima? I have no idea. Because they're so everywhere and not focused on anything. What do they say? Jack of all trades, master of none? That's kind of what they are. And that's sad because at one point they were huge on YouTube. And it was like synonymous with being successful on YouTube or whatever. I was incredibly lucky back in 2011 to be partnered with them. And now it's just kind of like,
Incredibly lucky.
it doesn't mean anything to still be partnered with them. A lot of people have had issues with them over the years. I'm one of the few that didn't.
Take a sip.
So,
Swish in your mouth.
just being honest here. So, if I don't go independent,
By the way, I'm sorry, guys, if I'm looking at like a chat right now. I am streaming this. I apologize if it's distracting. I'll try to reduce it. It's just DSP stream is about to start as well, so like, there's a lot of stuff going on in his chat because today, Friday, he's not partnered with Machinima anymore. He's not covered with them. So big news there. Can't wait to see what his pre-stream is gonna be. So there's that.
and I choose to get partnered with a new partnership.
So I'm
company,
sorry if
I'm
it's
going to be making
distracting.
less
I'll try to
money because
reduce it.
no one's going to give me the lucrative terms that YouTube was giving me. The good news is that the terms that Machinima gave me weren't great anymore. Over the years, when I first signed with Machinima, oh my god,
They
everything
weren't
was
great
giving me the
anymore.
world.
But
They were giving-
he fucking defended the contract deal. Remember the whole, oh, they gave me my destiny. Oh, I have destiny in my hands now. They gave me freedom. Now it's, well, these are terrible terms. Wow.
insane amount of money for the videos. They were giving me bonuses, like I said, they were flying me to E3. And when I first got signed in
Bonuses.
2011,
It's just
they
a
signed me, and
bonus.
then within like 6 months, they announced a bonus program by which they were going to pay me tons of extra money and all this stuff. And I was like, wow, this is great. Why the hell? I'm so happy I went with them. And then they took away the bonus. They reduced that contract. They reduced that contract again. Then eventually they got me out of that contract, and they put me into a contract very similar to what everyone else has right now on YouTube, which is basically ad-based, which everyone knows. Everyone has contracts based on ads, okay?
Oh no.
And so that's been in effect for about a year now with them, and that's very finicky, up and down, depending on how ad revenue is month to month and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been wild with Machinima. It's been up, down, up, down, up, down. But really, at this point, the contract that I was in wasn't incredibly lucrative and or more than much more, let me put it that way, than what everyone else is offering anyway. Okay?
But he
so for me, the move from
contract.
Machinima to another partner company,
Whatever.
honestly, is not a huge deal. Will it be a small amount of money that's out of my pocket? Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of money is going to be lost here. But in the long run, considering that these are other companies, there are big companies out there that are known for partnering gaming channels, and they support gaming channels, and they have relationships with gaming companies. That's one of the key things for me. Sadly, and I hate to say this, Machinima really, over the course of me being partnered with them, never provided me industry contacts, never really provided me with information in regards to gaming releases, and very rarely did they ever provide me with anything like an advanced copy of a game. And I know for some people who are partnered on YouTube, you're like, what, really? Yeah. Like, it was a rarity. It was through 2015, Machinima actually gave me a bunch of like copies of games for free to play. And that was it. That was the only year. I've been partnered with them since 2011, and I only ever got any games or anything. I remember I got the advanced copy of Fallout 4.
Why is he fucking talking about this? He said multiple times, I'm like you. I don't get the special treatment, and that's how it should be. Now it's, where's my free games? I want free games. Where's my day one? Where's my early access? But he's shouting everyone for getting early access, but he wants it.
I only got all of that for a very short period of time, and then it went away again.
What a fucking baby.
It is what it is. I think what it is.
It is what it is.
And again, this might be with a lot of companies, I don't know, is that they don't have a focus of what they are. One day, Machinima might have this giant...
They don't know what they are. They're a
today
partnership
we're going to have
company.
a team that's dedicated to our partners, and we're going to get our partners advanced copies of games, and we're going to fly them to E3. We're going to support...
But this is like an opinion of someone looking in from the outside. He doesn't know what's going on with Machinima. He thinks that they're diversified and they're changing teams and they don't have a team that's dedicated for their partners. But maybe what's going on is that they just didn't give a shit about you. I think ultimately what happened is that they were probably trying to downsize a certain department or a certain focus. But I doubt that he didn't have a team of people, not a team of people, but a person that would sit there like, hey, this Darkside Phil guy, he needs this and that. Like, they probably didn't give him free games because he wasn't pulling in enough views to warrant that. Michelle probably has a lot of other partners that probably pull in bigger numbers, and that's probably where they want to focus. Like, why would he focus on a channel that's getting the bare minimum? It's like if you work at a company, who do you think is gonna get the raise? Someone that works harder and goes up far beyond the minimum of what they're asked, or the person who just coasts on the minimum? They're gonna go with the guy who has the most. Usually, sometimes people do little tricks and this and that to get better treatment, but for the most part, they go to the people who work far beyond to give them the best. He was coasting on the minimum for a partner company, for a partner channel to make. Because that's the thing, don't partner channels have to get a certain amount of views for them to either stay partnered or whatever? I think there was, and it is what it is.
Partners, we're going to post their videos up on our main Machinima channel.
Whatever.
It's all about the partners. And then 6 months later, they completely get rid of that idea. They lay off all the people who are on that team, and you don't have contacts
How do
anymore.
they
I'm
know
not even
that they
kidding
were
you.
laid
This has
off?
happened many times since I've been with Machinima, and I've talked about this before in the past, is that they restructure a lot. They're a very fluid company. They don't know what they want to be. So
Very
you
fluid.
might,
They don't know what they want to be. So if they fire someone, they just don't know who they want to be. They don't know what they are. If they fire people, it's not like that they fire people because they either can't afford them or they want to downsize or focus efforts somewhere else or whatever. It could be many reasons. But Phil knows what he's talking about because he obviously works with Machinima. He's in their boardroom meetings all the time, right?
I might have a great relationship with them today, and then 6 months later something happens and I need help and I don't even know who to go to or contact because the person who I used to talk to is laid off. The team who I used to work with doesn't exist anymore. And it's like, what happened here? And this, I'm not even kidding you. This happened tons of times with them, okay? So for me, it's like, it was such a weird relationship. I never felt like when I was partnered with Machinima that I never had a direct line of contact or anyone who I could really talk to about issues. The few times that I did have it, that person would be rotated around or shifted or laid off within a few months.
Laid off.
Crazy.
Rip.
You know, this is my livelihood. This is my
My
job,
livelihood.
But I have no one to talk to as a contact. They have, they expect me to put in a generic log or something into an automated system and hope that hope that someone would respond to it in a timely manner, which a lot of times you wouldn't get a response for 1 to 2 days. And if it was an urgent matter, what the hell? Sitting on a copyright strike for 2 days before I even get a response. Not very good, right? But then there were times when it was great. See what I mean? So for me, looking for a new partnership company, I want a company that basically at least has an understanding of the industry and will have contacts and maybe would be able to get me advanced copies of games.
Look at this! He kept priding himself of like, well, look, I'm not getting free copies. I pay for each game I buy. I'm like the rest of you. That's what makes my reviews better than the other. Now he's like, well, I want advanced copies. I want free games. Give me this stuff. Why am I not getting this free treatment? I want this free treatment. But I thought you didn't want to be like those people, Phil. I guess he lied, guys. Surprise.
Things that are commonplace from what I've heard from people who are
God.
partnered with other companies that I never had with Machinima, right? That's what I would look for in a partnership company. I would look for one that obviously is going to pay the industry standard, which everyone is doing pretty much at this point. Almost every company, when you sign up with them new, they're doing exactly the same thing, okay?
Okay.
So that's really not an issue when it really comes down to it. It seems like everyone's going about it the same way and paying about the same amount, and it's not that big of a deal. But really, for me, it would be, can I have someone who, if I have an issue, I could talk to, right?
I can talk to.
Or if there's a big new game release, maybe I could get the game a couple days early so that maybe I could do some advanced gameplay of it. Because like I said, especially with my way I want to do my schedule moving forward, I want to have a day off a week. So maybe I could play a game early and have videos to have go live that week or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
These are all things that are factors and things that have been going through my head, all right?
What a fucking idiot. Or not an idiot, but
But
fucking
primarily
like
for me,
hypocrite.
the reason why I think I need to be partnered again on YouTube once these contracts with Machinima expire.
Why I need to be
is
partnered
because
again.
of the protection from Content ID. What I'm really terrified from, quite honestly here, is that my contract's going to expire with Machinima, and if I don't immediately have another partnership contract to go right in, slip right into a new one, right? That within 2 weeks, all of my 40+ thousand videos on DSP Gaming are going to get Content ID, Content ID, Content ID, Content ID. And the reason that I know that this is a huge concern and an issue is because in late 2013, a lot of people might not know this, in late 2013, YouTube made a change. They made it so that everyone is affected by Content ID who isn't in a managed partnership, all right? And what happened was, literally overnight, I'm not kidding you, probably about thousands of my videos got flagged for Content ID.
This is a boring
And it took a
video.
long time for me to
This
go
is a
through
very
those
boring
videos and try to
video.
remove the issues and all of that. If I remember in particular, there were
playing
Grand Theft
Zelda
Auto
right now.
playthroughs, Saints Row playthroughs, anything that had copywritten music got flagged, and I lost all the money on those videos.
Us
okay?
all the money.
And I know what's going to happen. I know it would happen again. If I'm not, if I'm not partnered with a company coming up when these contracts expire, I'm really terrified that even though I've got over 40,000 videos on DSP Gaming and over 50,000 videos on the internet, any money-making potential for those videos could overnight be removed. All right? So I'm thinking it through logically. I think I have to repartner my channels with a new partnership company, okay? But there's a problem.
There's a problem!
The problem, there's two problems actually. Really, there's two problems here. And this is really what's keeping me up at night. All right, this is why I couldn't sleep last night. Right, all right? Honestly, this is the talk. Why I couldn't fucking sleep last night.
Wrong button. Take a sip.
Sorry. Number one, the first thing that's kind of bothering me is knowing what's going on right now with YouTube and my ad revenue already being down and everything. Even if I get repartnered, okay, with a new company right away, and it's not a big deal, and I jump right into another one, what's to stop this from continuing? Like, my ad revenue was already down for February. Now, Machinima suggested a fix. They said upload shorter videos. Upload 10-minute videos instead of the 20 to 30-minute videos you're uploading. And I did that for a day. Yesterday, I did that. All the gameplay I put out yesterday was roughly around 10-minute long videos. I don't know if that's an effective fix. I don't know if that's...
Is it an effective fix?
I don't know if that's going to affect anything. I don't know if it's a temporary thing where my ad revenue went down for whatever. Okay, I don't know. So I could be partnered with a new company, but then all of a sudden I'm still making like next to no money. All right, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. That's number one.
All right, I'm going to take a little break from this video. And we'll get back right into it. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna edit this video together. Okay, so back to DSP. I know, I take a little break, so fun editing, but it's not gonna be that bad. It was better than the original take I took. I had like 4 breaks in it, and it was driving me insane. So hopefully this won't be that bad.
2, and this is a big one. And this is real talk here, everyone.
Real talk, guys.
As you know.
As you know.
I'm sure you know, because you may be one of them, or you're a fan of mine and you're aware of them. There is a negative element that follows me around the internet. And it's for various reasons. Some of them just cannot let go of mistakes that I made in the past. They look at things that I've done in the past that were bad, which, a lot of the things I openly admit, I've done really bad things in the past that were just fuck-ups, right? As I said last week, there is no handbook for success for internet fame or YouTube or whatever. When I got into it, I knew nothing about it. It was completely by chance. I certainly hadn't ever planned on doing YouTube as a job.
Yeah, he was forced into it. But like, I like how he just glazes over it. Oh yeah, I did bad things. There's fuck-ups. Like he did not apologize for tapping on stream. I know someone's gonna say like, well, it's not that big of a deal, Theo. It's not like he saw his dick or anything. But still, it would have been at least nice for him to say, "I'm so," in case if there's viewers that might have been disgusted by, that accident or whatever. I'm sorry. I mean, instead he just kept bragging about it. He was like, "Oh, I fapped on stream. It's no fucking, issues there." And it's like, really? Like, you're not gonna at least be a little more apologetic about that? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a nitpick, I guess, but
over the years I made a lot of mistakes. Openly.
A lot of mistakes.
I know I screwed up a lot. I said stupid stuff, insulted certain people.
He still insults people,
and it sucks because what happens is you get people who get hyper focused on the negativity. They don't see all the positive. They don't look at the 50,000 videos I've put out. And the fact that it's all the raw gameplay and playthroughs of the hundreds of thousands of people who've watched my stuff and laughed and had fun with it. Instead, they got to.
But like, what? I like it. Like, well, if they don't look at all my videos, but most of these detractors are people who watched a lot of his videos in the old days, back when they were fans of his, and then they became detractors because they didn't like some of the things he was doing. Now, obviously, there are some people who decided to be detractors just for the sake of it, and for the most part, in my opinion at least, I'm sure someone's going to disagree with me on this, but I feel that the people who hate on Phil for the sake of it, they're not very prominent anymore. There's still some around, but they're not like, you know, as prevalent. They're not like, I don't know, because like a lot of the people who I talk to, at least in my own little circle, are people who know Phil. They watch his videos. They were ex fans of his. These people weren't. Like if anything, I'm the only one that wasn't a true fan of his. That's a detractor. But the thing is that I didn't really care that much about him to begin with. I've talked about this so many times, but uh, I saw This Is How You Don't Play of MGS3. That's how I got to know him. And I was like, oh, this guy's kind of funny, and I might have been able to be a fan of his, and then I started seeing like his hardcore gaming giveaway where he gave his fans empty boxes, and that to me was enough to be like, okay, this guy's an asshole. To even act as if that was like such a good giveaway, it really that was just, if it was like if it was a joke, like, oh yeah guys, I'm gonna send you empty game cases, and then it wasn't a joke. It was kind of, that's where I drew the line.
It's just on the negative, right? And make it out to be that I'm a horrible person.
I'm a horrible person.
So let's face it. Me trying to get partnered with another company, I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think that it's going to be an easy thing at all. I think that what's going to happen is, I apply for a partnership, and they look at the channel and they say, okay, the channel brings in millions of views and all of that, and then they're going to search and they're going to see that there's all these people who constantly say negative shit about me. And they're going to say, well, this is now an executive decision. Do we take the not necessarily the chance, because the bottom line is all it amounts to is trolling when you really think about it. All it amounts to is fucking stupid trolling.
That's all it is.
Trolling my videos, trolling the comments, stuff like that. The bottom line is the false copyright issues on YouTube are done. Like, those are gone.
They're done.
You can't really do false copyright strike things again anymore, because YouTube has put safeguards in place to stop that, which is a great thing. So, what I'm worried about, and this is real talk, okay? What I'm real worried about is that a company, any company, would look at me and say, well, here's a guy who's been on YouTube for 8 years, made a living for 6 years with his current partnership company. They had a falling out or whatever. He still brings in big views, but there's this negative element that follows him around.
Negative element.
And my God, have I tried? Just think about all the things that I've done over the years to try to get. First of all, I've outright said I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, let's look at everything he did to isolate the detractors. Oh yeah, calling them mentally ill, saying they need to go see a doctor, they're sociopaths, they want to kill him, all these things. Like, if you look at how DSP fans handle detractors, you can kind of see why detractors are kind of annoyed with him, because he kind of makes detractors out to be some, like, mob mentality that's kind of hive mind, and they're idiots, and all this kind of stuff, and it's just, these are things that antagonize people, and he antagonizes these detractors. He doesn't want anything to do with them, but he antagonizes them every step of the way. Every step of the way. So it's really hard to believe that he really wants us to believe that he doesn't want anything to do with detractors when he goes out of his way to antagonize them. Okay.
I know there's fucking weirdo groups that follow me around and shit.
I
don't want anything to do with it. I don't bring it up unless I have to. Unless there's
all
a
the
reason
time
that's directly affecting myself or my content. I never bring these
all the time
if I can help it. But when I see shit, like, for example, just the other day, all right, I see people trying to tweet Twitch support to get me kicked off of Twitch because every once in a while I mention bits.
Get this.
Oh my god. Phil mentions bits. That's asking for bits, and that's not allowed, and we have to fucking spam Twitch like crazy to try.
No one has spammed Twitch. If anything, the only time that I've seen detractors actually spam a company was for From Software during Dark Souls 3. During that was the only time I've seen a lot of people who are detractors spam From Software about him playing Dark Souls 3. I think they even spammed Machinima over that. And then it was kind of the same thing with the cyberbullying thing, which is kind of funny now that I think about it, because he also said that he wants people to spam that one guy, whatever, but the thing is that the reason why people spam Twitch about the bits was because he literally asked like, no, not literally asking. He kept saying how he was not above the rules. Like, oh, he basically kept saying how he follows the rules. He's not a big streamer, so he doesn't get preferential treatment and all that. And he was getting away with actually breaking the terms of service of mentioning bits. So there you go.
To get Phil kicked off of Twitch because he's making money on Twitch, right?
It wasn't
Now,
because he's making money on Twitch. That's not why people were spamming Twitch. It was because he was blatantly breaking a terms of service. People wouldn't have cared if he didn't tell us how many times that he wishes everyone did not get preferential treatment or special treatment or were exempt from the rules. He broke the fucking rules, and then he's upset that people were actually calling out on breaking the rules.
Fine. Almost every fucking Twitch streamer mentions that. Almost every.
But Phil, you can't compare yourself to those people because they're more successful. Remember, and the other thing is that he said multiple times he has no time to watch other YouTubers, other Twitch streamers, and now he's saying how he knows how other Twitch streamers operate. I've watched Twitch streamers. Not a lot of them. I watched like Garrett Hunter stream. I've seen Mega64 stream. And they don't mention bits. They don't say, bit. They say, oh, sub to us, go to our Patreon, that kind of shit. But that's like, whatever.
Streamers mention it way more than me because they're constantly giving.
No one mentions it as much as you do, Phil. I'm sorry. All right,
for bits, which I don't do. I don't interrupt my videos. I don't interrupt my content. I don't do that.
He doesn't interrupt his content. Go to his stream right now. February, March. What's today's date? 10th. Actually, go any day of the week. When he streams, he interrupts his gameplay now to mention bits. It's kind of funny. He went full circle of being everything he fucking hated.
All right, I'm here to give you gameplay, and all that other stuff is periphery. So if you support me, great. I'll take time out during a break or at the end of the stream to give you a thank you.
But now, he doesn't do that anymore, and it's kind of funny that not even a day, not even a week, not a week, not even a day. He flip-flopped on this less than a day. The same day he's recording this stream, as he was doing this stream, he did a Switch unboxing, and he had pop-up notifications, he did shout-outs during the unboxing. During the unboxing, he had shout-outs, he had all this stuff during the unboxing going on. He fucking sold out, guys.
Interrupt the raw content.
Raw content.
Which is why you're here.
But now he does,
right? And constantly be promoting bits, give me bits. No, I do.
Yeah, he does. He does that now.
Segment before I start.
He's everything he hated.
So that's what I mean. People behind the scenes go, oh, we gotta get Phil kicked off of Twitch and shit like that. And this happens all the time. So you know what's gonna happen, no matter who I get partnered with.
All the time.
These people, this element, are going to go, and they're going to go to their social media, and they're going to go everywhere, and they're going to spam and attack, and do stupid stuff, and say I'm a horrible person, and how could you partner that guy? When in reality, those who have followed me for 8 years, and those who have been along the ride, those who actually watch my videos, and know the actual stories behind the spin that they put on it to make me look bad, know that...
But most of these people have followed you for 8 years. Like, I mean, again, I don't claim to be a fucking Phil expert here. I don't even think Kevin claims to be a fucking Phil expert either, but it's just all this stuff is based off of our opinion. And earlier you said like, oh, well, these people focus on the negative elements, they don't see how other people can enjoy it. I can definitely see why people like Phil. I don't really care what other people think of him. I don't care if people like him, hate him, whatever. You have your own opinions of him. If you like Phil, go watch his content and support him, all that kind of stuff. All that good stuff. Do all that. I'm not basing my opinion off of what people like about him and what other people say about him. I'm basing my opinions of Phil off of my own reaction and my own fucking opinion. Yeah, I might reference other people's reaction to things and to bring that up in my video, but that's just citing. It's like, well, this guy said this. Yeah, I'm not saying, well, that guy says this, and I promote that as my own opinion, or as my own thought. I say, well, this guy said this, I either agree or disagree, because sometimes people agree on same sentiments. Like, if I say the sky is blue, someone might say, yeah, I agree with that. Or say, like, oh, I like Metal Gear Solid 5, that's a good game. People are gonna, can either agree with that or disagree with that statement. That doesn't mean that they, base their opinion off of what I said. They're saying, yeah, I agree with that statement.
None of the horrible
Whatever.
things that they say about me are factually true.
Not
That
factually
what they've
true.
done is they've taken maybe a small thing and spun it completely out of proportion.
A small
or
thing.
took it out of context. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
well, those people just take those videos of Phil directly what he says, and that's how they make him look bad. Yeah, but they don't put it in context.
This context defense is such a weak defense because you can apply that to anything then. Because the thing is that let's take this Pokemon Moon situation that happened. No amount of context can defend that behavior because look at it like this. Everyone on stream, he said for a week ago, during that pre-stream of that video, he said if this stream does not get this amount of views, it won't be streamed anymore. Everyone there knew that was the deal. So at the end of the stream, when he's done playing the game, because he did not talk about this during the gameplay. I know, crazy, right? He didn't mention it. He then goes on during the outro for the stream. It's okay, let's take a look at the stream numbers. Wow, the stream did terrible. And he starts saying like how his fans have no excuse. Like he's done with their bullshit excuses. His viewers are being lazy. All this stuff. He was getting annoyed with the people who showed up, not the people who the people who were there. They knew the deal. He was annoyed with the people who left. So why did he have to yell at the people who were there on stream? Makes no fucking sense, and there's no reason for it. And then he goes on to apologize the next day. To say like, oh well, I'm sorry for how I acted. Like, no amount of context explains that. Sorry.
That's the point. Anything said out of context could make you look bad.
Whatever.
If there's a specific situation going on and I make a statement that normally if you just say the statement sounds weird or sounds inflammatory, but if you put it in context of the situation, right, then it makes sense. But that's the thing.
No. It doesn't make sense why you snapped at the people who were watching your Pokemon Moon stream when the people left the stream. That doesn't make it okay for you to say, oh, well, they're lazy. And even in the apology video, he was like, well, I said, oh, sorry everyone, it won't be streamed. I guess people are being lazy or something like that. And it's like, he didn't even say it that way. He didn't say sorry. He didn't sound polite. He didn't sound, rational. He was annoyed. He said he was done with their excuses and all this stuff. He sounded very aggressive towards his viewers. That's why people were upset. And he's like, oh, well, they took it out of context. No, they didn't. Because everyone about it was aware of the streaming situation. They weren't upset why you weren't streaming or anything, or what you had to say. They were upset with how he said it. But whatever, let's continue.
Have time for context on YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
They take that little out of place
Sure.
thing, that snippet or whatever, and they spin it into something insanely negative.
And Eddie, by the way, who posted that outro, didn't add anything to it. It was the pure outro. Everything before that had nothing to do with that segment because everyone who watched it knew, unless you don't know what's going on in Phil's life. Okay, but those who watched it, like I knew, everyone involved knew the deal with the streaming, and he snapped at them. But of course, it's out of context. Yeah, fuck off.
So, what I'm honestly really nervous about.
Very nervous, guys. He's very nervous.
Yes, I will, I'm going to seek, obviously, partnership with another company. And I'm seeking a company that's going to work with me, that's going to have a good relationship with me, that we can work together,
Let's work together,
on
guys.
Stuff. And, that's kind of, again, that's what I was missing from Machinima. I never really felt like we were a team. We were working together to be successful. It was more like, well, you're partnered with us and we put ads on your videos. Now you're off on your own. And
yeah, that's what happened. He's off on his own, guys. He, when he got the copyright strikes, usually you would have to wait weeks to get streaming back. He got back in a few days. On his own. Machinima did not work with him at all there, right? He wanted to have a third channel, partnered and managed, which was KO Gaming. Did that all on his own. Machinima didn't help him out there, okay. Recently, he asked Machinima for help. For why his ad revenue was down. Out on his own, didn't get help. Even though in a video before this, he said he was praising Machinima why he stuck around and all that kind of stuff. No, all on his own. Yeah, okay, I believe that, Phil.
That's not a way to operate, in my opinion. In my opinion, it should be a team. You're working together to be successful, and you try. If you need help, you can get it. Maybe sometimes you.
Yeah, he never got help, guys. Look at look at the copyright strikes. He got no help with that, right?
Get into promotional events, or you could get advanced copies of games and stuff like that.
That's what he wanted. He wants the special treatment that he shat on other YouTubers for having. He always says, well, I don't think people should get the special treatment, early games, and this and that, because it taints the review, and this and that. That's what makes my reviews the best. And now he's like, well, I should get early reviews, early games. Give me the early games, Machinima. And that's what should be going on, but they didn't do that to me. This fucking guy.
And I never really had that, so that's what I'm looking for. But I'm terrified.
He's terrified, guys.
Honestly,
look at him. He's
that
terrified.
When I go and I try to partner with a new company, that they're gonna immediately look at the negative element and say, "Well, yeah, you got money making potential. You've been on YouTube for a long time. You've got a hardcore fan base that supports you, and you're gonna get views.
Okay.
But you've also got this big negative lump over here, right? And are they gonna want to deal with that?"
See, again, it has to be the detractors. The detractors are the reason why he can't get partnered. Okay, sure. He got partnered, by the way, with an unmanaged company.
Because
yippee.
I can't control that. There's no way that I can control that, right? I can't.
Way, man.
I can't control that big negative element. I've tried my damnedest. If anything, you would think that embracing this is how you don't play and understanding that at its heart, that this is how you don't play movement when it started.
Bull fucking shit. You accepted this how you don't play so late in the game. Like 4 years later, okay, I'll start uploading this how you don't play to my channel. 4 years late. And like he only did that because he wanted to get free publicity of like, oh, see, I'm embracing the hate. Look at me, I'm part of the cool kids now. And no one gives a shit about this how you don't play. Yeah, like people may not like that he does that to me. As I said, I think the idea is fine. I just don't think he should get paid for it. He shouldn't get money for uploading those videos. He shouldn't be making money off those videos. He can feature them, but I just don't think he should be making money off of them.
Was meant to just basically make fun and laugh at how bad I am at games and to show that, I'm pretty much, when I'm playing a game and I'm sucking, in particular those original ones. Some of the worst games I ever, I ever did, not the worst games, some of the games I did the worst at. Like the Metal Gear Solid series, right? All that. Oh my god. I mean, I didn't put any effort into trying to figure out how to play those fucking games. I just flubbed through them. And I sucked at them, and people spun that into a hilarious movement. And I get that. That's why I've embraced it. That's why I'm saying, okay, you want to get your video featured, put it on my channel.
You didn't get it because you fucking shat on it for 4 years. And, again, this is what I said about when he announced KO Gaming Community Submission, whatever, is that he's only doing this to have it as a trophy. Like, oh, look at me, I took the hate, and I'm using it, and I'm fueling it in my own channel and getting the views.
Okay with those kind of videos, but the thing is, then look at what it's become. This huge nasty thing where people are personally insulting myself and my girlfriend and my family and everything I've done on YouTube, and they make up slander.
But, again, where is he seeing these videos? I've not, like, honestly, this how you don't play, if they ever had malicious, like, intent, or jokes that are less, like, overly mean, are probably the ones that get the lowest views. Because when you make it this how you don't play, and you go really try hard on it, no one's gonna like it. Like, when Final Fantasy 15 was out, when he was playing that, everyone was getting hyped for this how you don't play because he was getting salty, he was getting angry, he was, really getting fucking pissed off in that game. When he was playing Resident Evil 7, no one ever sat there and was like, oh man, I can't wait for this how you don't play Resident Evil 7. Like, no one really said that. I mean, yeah, they're the obligatory comment on YouTube about it, but, there's those that don't play that makes fun of his family or himself personally, like as he thinks they do, unless he's considering these kind of videos. But even then, I don't really go that far to making fun of him or his family for that matter. So this is kind of a lie right there. He's slanderizing other detractor videos without watching them. So cool.
And, you know, basically anything to make me look like a horrible human being.
Okay.
In a lot of ways to hurt me, because that's what it is. A lot of these videos and
So they take your videos, put it in a montage. It hurts you, but if you put it on your own channel, your own Kyo Gaming, it doesn't hurt you because you make money. Okay.
or the things that people say about me are intentionally done to be slanderous to hurt me. Not to laugh or to make fun
Not to
or
laugh.
to make me try to improve like a lot of people claim. But a lot of these things are there to hurt me. So I'm nervous that a partnership company would look at me and say, well, tons of potential, right?
But again, like
Tons of-
you can look at like the videos and you can know which is bullshit, which is not bullshit. Just saying.
money making potential. But
Money making potential. Okay.
there's this negative element
Sure.
that comes with it. And we don't know if we want it. You know what I mean? Not
know
to
what I
say,
mean?
again, that it's ever going to really rub off. Just think about it. In all the years that I was partnered with Machinima, did being associated with me ever rub off negatively on them or do anything bad to them? No.
Kinda.
It had no effect on them whatsoever.
Kinda.
And it won't. No, whatever partnership company I would end up
Whatever.
with, it would not affect them at all.
I mean,
It's
people
just
kinda
stupid
hated Machinima to
trolling, people
begin with,
tweeting
but
them
whatever.
stupid shit. You know what I mean? And, leaving dumb comments and stuff. That's all it amounts to. Is that...
See, I'm telling you, he made this video to please other partner companies, because he knows he's looking for other partner companies, and he wants to do this as a way to sell himself. Which is shit, because it doesn't sound genuine, in my opinion. This whole video doesn't sound genuine. This is like the third time I'm watching this video, and it still doesn't sound genuine. I'm still waiting for the genuine thing, but no, it just sounds like he's just trying to sleaze his way into a company.
who are going to troll. And that's really all it's ever really been. But there's some companies that don't want to deal with that kind of shit, right? So what I'm hoping is that kind of talking about this publicly and explaining my situation to everyone here, that hopefully someone out there watching this video or this stream, okay, maybe
the main
you
reason
work for one of these big partnership companies,
main reason why I made
or a
this
partnership
video.
company that's willing to, take a shot, all right, that you would, talk to them and maybe have someone contact me and give me a chance,
But why is it their responsibility? I mean that's what I don't understand. Why is he having other people find partners for him? Why can't he do it? He's the one with the YouTube channel. Why should, if I'm a fan of his, yeah, it sucks that he's going away, but why should I be the one having to worry about getting him a partnership? And that's kind of shitty. That it's lazy. He can't do it himself. He can't sell himself to other companies. That's kind of sad that he has to rely on someone else to do it for him. He's begging. He's literally crying and begging for partnership in this video. Which now he has. He has a new partnership company that's not going to be managed, by the way. So that's great. But he expects to be managed by next year. So we'll see what happens.
because I'm nervous. I'm very nervous right now of what's going on, because I only have a limited time. And just to give you an example, all right, because basically this is going to affect everything. Right now, you might be saying, well, Phil said he still needs contracts with Machinima. What's the time frame? Well, first of all, it doesn't. The King of Hate Vlogs and KO Gaming, it doesn't matter. Those contracts
It doesn't matter.
are going to expire soon. All right.
Soon.
But
By the way, Q Gaming expires in April, so that's soon, apparently.
it doesn't matter because I wasn't really making money on those anyway. If both of the partnerships go away on those,
Wow.
and I never partner with them again, I'm out a couple $100s a month. That's not a
Wow.
big deal. DSP
Rip
Gaming is
KO
the focus.
Gaming.
DSP Gaming is the channel that needs to be partnered ASAP because, as you know, that's the one I'm putting out the continuous gameplay and all of that. Okay, and
Dude, he is
if that doesn't get partnered right away,
look at these
what am I gonna do?
tits, man.
You could say, oh, well, you could put the videos on KO Gaming. Yeah, I could for maybe a couple weeks, but then that partnership runs out. So then what do I do? You know what I mean? I need to have something in place
These faces.
right away.
He has such a
because
weird
I'm
fucking
nervous
face.
of what's gonna happen here? You know what I mean?
My face isn't
So
any better, but it's just so
the deal
weird.
is, and this is being real, I need to find a partnership company. If I'm going to keep doing this, right? Even if I'm going to start doing this part-time, let's say eventually I'm not going to do this full-time anyway, and I end up getting a job or whatever. outside of YouTube, and I do this part-time, I still need to find a partnership company for DSP Gaming very quickly. I'm talking a matter of days, all right? So what I'm saying is kind of I've already applied to a couple of them, but more than likely what's going to happen is going to go to their standard process or whatever, which I know what's going to happen. They're, like I said, they're going to look at, oh, there's good money-making potential, but wait a minute, I searched for him on the internet, and here's all this negative stuff about him, right? So
Right.
I don't know if that's going to work. What I really need, sadly, I need, hopefully, someone who's watching this to look and say, damn, Phil's got an 8-year legacy. He's got a channel that makes money.
Oh my
And,
God!
we're
Shut
gonna
up
take him
about
under
your
our wing as
legacy.
a partnership and understand that situation. Again, it has to be in context. If you look at
In
everything out-
context, it has to be in context. Fuck you, man.
context, it looks horrible. If you look at everything in context, it looks good.
No,
But
it
you have
doesn't.
to have that context. That's what I'm nervous
Nope.
about. Is these companies aren't going to look in context. They're just going to.
No. Those companies will see those videos, see that they're 10 minutes long or 20 minutes long, and say, wow, this guy is cheesing videos and cheesing money. Fuck this guy. And I really hope that this new company never manages him, because he is the worst kind of YouTuber. He does the bare minimum, he doesn't try things, and he just tries to get that easy dollar. Ugh,
In
man.
vanilla, do a search on YouTube and say, well, people say this guy sucks, and I'm not going to get partnered with another company.
Good.
Okay?
But he's partnered now, so but it's not managed.
That's really my concern. Now,
Rocks back and forth.
let's talk
Let's
outside
talk.
of this realm of partnering on YouTube and all of that. Because for years, people have said, Phil, why don't you get a part-time job off of YouTube? Why don't you have another job like you used to have, an office job, and then go ahead and do YouTube as a part-time thing? I could do that. The problem is, again, there'd probably be a significant dip in income. But, I am currently in a lot of things going on where I'm trying to get rid of my condo in Connecticut, and that would be a significant amount of money that I'm not bleeding every month to something that I get nothing out
Oh
of.
my God, this fucking
Pretty soon, I'm getting rid of my car, which is
walking
too
back and
expensive,
forth is
and I'm gonna
like
get
fucking
probably a cheap,
insane. Look
you know,
at this.
car. So that is going to be a
What is he
significant drop.
doing?
So maybe I can make it work, but the problem is, where would I go to get a job?
I've
let's
never
say, off of
seen
YouTube if I were to
him
go
rock
out to
this much in a
real
video.
life
Look at
and
this.
apply for jobs. Well, first of all,
Look at this.
I used to do customer support for one company, but I haven't done that for how many years,
God.
right? Same thing with
Okay.
continuous improvement,
Oh,
which
oh.
I actually had a certification. I had a
Like doing
achieving
this.
competitive excellence certification for continuous improvement, by which I could take companies
Oh, okay.
and process map out their processes to find bottlenecks and stuff in the process to let them know this is where you need to improve and do stuff like that. I could do all that. I can still do that. I still do that today. I could do it easily with a process, anything, right?
I feel like it's a nervous tick when he does this, because I don't see him doing
But-
this in like gameplay.
But
Oh, I mean,
again,
it is a picture in
haven't done it
picture.
for some 6 years. So you're talking in a very competitive market, by the way, because
Very
this
competitive.
area that I live, the Seattle
Customer
area,
service is very competitive.
yeah,
guys.
there's a lot of jobs, but there's also a lot of competition, a lot of young people out here. And I've
Oh,
already
those
kind of
damn
looked
young
into
people.
it. There's a couple sectors where I could probably go into. Okay.
Then
Well-
find ways to get in there. Like, find ways if there's like, maybe they have like little public moments, or like, whatever. Find a way to get in. See if there's internships available. See if there's like volunteer services available. Do something to get you like whatever, man.
They're highly competitive. And
Highly competitive.
At this point, it's going to be very, very difficult
Very.
for someone to hire me over maybe someone else who's been in that field right away. You know what I mean? Someone who hasn't, he's done YouTube for 6 years as a job and hasn't done anything in this field for an elongated period of time. I don't know if anyone's going to give me a shot, So that's what I'm nervous. Like, when I was 6 years ago, when I got laid off from my job, there were no jobs in Connecticut in that sector, okay? But at least if I were to apply for a different kind of job that were completely different, starting from the bottom, as they say, at least a potential employer could say, well, here's someone who's had consistent employment experience since, forever. Now, sadly, what you have this 6-year gap. This 6-year freaking gap where you're going to say, well, he did his own thing for 6 years, but he's not in practice anymore. Basically, I'd have to learn from the beginning. So that's what I mean. Like, I don't know what would happen. In addition, and this is being real, it wouldn't work because right now Leanna has a part-time job and she constantly is using
Look
the
at
car to
these
go-
excuses. He's like trying to get like a job, and like people are like, "Oh, get a job." He's like, "Let me tell you why that can't work." Instead of like trying to work this problem. And remember what Phil said: Google doesn't have any street smarts. They have book smarts, but not street smarts. They can't solve problems. They're terrible at solving problems. Well, I guess Phil is terrible at solving problems because if you need to get a job and you have one car, you're gonna try to find something to make it work. Just saying. You're not gonna be like, well, that's it. That's the end.
back and forth to this job. She works a good 5 days a week. Okay.
Then why not work at the same building as her, work at the mall with her, and try to get the same hours as her? Or, have her, wake up early and carpool, do a lot of things. Do a lot of things.
How are we going to make that work? How am I going to have hours that are around hers or hers around mine? It won't work. Our jobs aren't going to give us special schedules. And
How would that work? You can look at the hours that they have and say, well, Leanna works at this time, so I'm gonna get these hours. Unless, like, you can't get those hours. But, that's where problem solving comes in. That's where critical thinking is applied.
sorry, I can't afford 2 cars.
Can't
It's
afford
just
2
simple. I
cars!
can't. She can't afford a car on her her
Not
salary.
like I
or
can,
her, pay
carpool,
from the job that she makes.
take an
and
Uber.
I can't afford 2 cars on what I'm making.
No, can't do it.
So
No problem
even
solving
that,
skills
he's
here, guys.
public transportation doesn't work. We actually tried that. We actually
needs
tried the
Stream
public
Chat to help
transportation
him with
out
life,
here for a
guys.
while when we first moved out here before Leanna could actually drive, and it's terrible. The buses are very inconsistent. Some days they don't show up. They break down all the time. It was crazy. A couple years ago, she was actually going to driving school.
Driving
Learning how to drive a
school.
car, and half the time when she was supposed to take the bus to get there, the bus would be late or break down. And it's like,
Okay.
what? Yeah, and it's true. So how are we gonna
It's
have a job
true.
where half the time I'm gonna
So
be
then,
late?
what did all those people do? There are more than one person that rides a bus, Phil. What did they do? What did all the people on the bus do? I wonder. I wonder what all those people on the bus did to get to their destination.
To the job or not be there because the buses don't work. You know what I mean? It's terrible. And it's the thing. Everything you need. It's every
Dude, these
solution
are
that I
lies.
look to, or
Man.
everything
I
that I
really
look to
doubt
as,
that the
here's what
buses
I could
break
do,
down
or here's what
that
I could
often.
do to fix the situation.
I mean, really, the buses in Seattle, a city, like the state, Washington, has shitty buses? What? Buses is a very important thing for a community. There's no way they're like, well, we're gonna have like shitty ass buses. Like the subway system is a little bit debatable because of where things are located now and shit, but the buses, come on. Really? Are they driving a fucking potato? Come on.
There's a messed up thing that screws it up. That throws a monkey wrench into it. Okay.
No, the monkey wrench is you. You're finding reasons to not do something.
So that being said,
A lot of people can get to work
I don't know, man.
without a car.
I don't know.
Stop.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's not that I'm against looking outside of
Yes,
YouTube
you are.
for
Yeah,
job opportunity.
yeah, you
But right
are.
now, it's not even viable. Like I couldn't even get to and
Not
from
even
the job
viable. I
on a
can't
daily
get to and from a
basis
job.
because of everything. And
Find
you know,
a way. Critical
I don't know what to
thinking.
do
Dude,
at
this guy
point,
needs
being
Dream Chat
that
to hold his hand in life.
Within a matter of days,
Dream Chat. Should I
Within a
make
matter of
food or
days.
not?
DSP Gaming will not be partnered at all anymore. There'll be no ads on any of the videos. And if I can't get DSP Gaming under a new partnership contract within a matter of days, I will not have any. Well, let me rephrase that because this is the good news. I will have income. The problem is the income will be way lower than what I need to pay my bills and keep afloat. I will still have Twitch.
Oh, Patreon. I thought Patreon is how you pay your bills.
Right? I'll still have subs on Twitch. I'll still have people cheering for me on Twitch.
And the other thing is that it's kind of hard to believe that they pay the bills with his fucking payment, you know? Like, so what does Leanna do with her money? Like, does she just not put it towards the house? Is she like, no, this money's my money, Phil. I'm not paying the bills. What? Like, You can't make enough money between the two of you to pay your bills?
It's awesome. And I do want to say thank you to those who come to my streams every day, who watch this. I mean, look, right now I've got a ridiculous amount of people watching this stream for all the wrong and right reasons. Let's be honest here.
Let's be
People
honest
who are
here.
concerned, and there's people who are just laughing, which is, whatever. It is what it is. That's the world. That's life, right? When
That's
you
the
feel like
world,
public,
that's life.
you're gonna have people who support you. You're gonna have people who don't want you to succeed. So you get that. I knew fully when I made this stream today this was gonna happen. But I want to say,
Well, I did kind of want you to succeed, and then, you make these decisions where you kind of don't want to succeed. Like, if you want to succeed, Phil, I'm surprised you're making all these excuses why you can't go to work, why you can't get a job. Amazing.
thank you to those
Thank you.
who come to my streams every day on Twitch.
Thank you, you fucking worthless
Who-
humans.
Cheer, who sub. You guys have given me, I'm not even kidding you, you don't even know, a significant
You don't even
new
know.
revenue source. Where right now, if everything goes south on YouTube, at least I know I could get some revenue from Twitch. Okay. And I'm going to talk in a moment, because I'm now going to explore the third option, which is, what if I don't focus on YouTube and I focus on Twitch? So I'll get to that in a moment, because I think people want to hear about that. What if Phil just became a full-time streamer?
See,
Till
look
people
at
said I should
this.
just quit YouTube and become a...
He wants to be a full-time Twitch streamer. Just listen to how he talked about it. He's like, oh, Twitch! Full-time Twitch streamer. Full-time. Like, he was very excited about that.
full-time streamer, okay?
He
Gonna
made up
talk
his
about
mind
that in a moment.
there. TBH.
But thank you to those who are here on Twitch and enjoy my stuff. Since I came back to Twitch in November, I've had nothing but positivity. Like, seriously, I
Nothing
love
but
doing it.
positivity.
The interaction with the people in the stream chat, I love it. I'm happy that I came back, and I'm happy that, again, my own stubborn ass, right? I know how I am. I'm very obstinate. I'm very
obstinate.
fucking thick-headed. And if I get an idea in my fucking mind, I will not adhere from that idea. I mean, I will not depart from that idea. I get stuck to it. And in my mind...
Yeah, that's why with less than a day, you decided to stream pop-up notifications and shout-outs during gameplay. Yeah, okay.
Streaming on Twitch was bad. And, people told me for 2 years after I quit Twitch, to come back, that it had changed, that it was
And
better.
I can
there were other things
exploit...
you could do, and it was a better environment, and there were new ways that would make it make sense to go back to Twitch, and I wouldn't listen, because I was a fucking, just really just an asshole about it. I admit that. I was an asshole about it. I didn't want to hear it. Even though everyone was saying Twitch was great, I didn't want to hear it. I was in my own little fucking bubble, streaming on YouTube, and even though I wasn't making any money doing it, and less people were attending the streams on YouTube daily, I didn't want to hear it, because I was a stubborn idiot. I'm like that. I don't know. When you have success, you think that you're doing it right? And then sometimes when the success wanes, you don't want to change the way you do it, and that's...
What? What kind of logic is this? Oh man, I'm successful. Oh, my popularity is plummeting. Well, I don't want to change because I'm so successful. No. If you're fucking losing views and shit, you're gonna try other things. I'm sorry, Phil. No one says this. It's like no company. If you had a company, let's say, and you're a big name. You're like, oh yeah, like Sega. Okay, see, look at Sega. They were a big name. The Dreamcast plummeted. Now did Sega say, guys, we're not making any money, but we don't want to stop making consoles, so let's keep making consoles, guys, because fuck it. We like making consoles, and we're not successful right now, but we are successful. So clearly, we should keep on this track. No, they fucking became a software company.
Big problem with me. I probably admit that, okay?
Sure, buddy. Take a sip.
But coming back to Twitch was a great fucking idea.
No, it wasn't.
It gave me a new revenue stream. I'm making money
objectively,
doing
it was a good idea,
fun
I guess.
doing it. People like it. So I'm going to talk in a moment about doing Twitch full-time. We'll explore that in a moment.
He wants to do Twitch full-time.
And of course, I have to say thank you for Patreon. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. 2 years ago, I started using Patreon. When all of a sudden, I saw things going wrong on YouTube with copyright strikes, with all kinds of shit. Patreon is the reason I'm still here. If I didn't have Patreon, I wouldn't be here. I've said this a million times before. I'll say it again. So I have to say thank you so much to those of you who support me on Patreon. Seriously, like, you have no idea how much that helps, and the fact that I'm still here. 2 years ago, I would have just moved to Washington
right now.
And within a year, I would have had to quit YouTube if I didn't have it.
$12.98.
So thank you for that. And I know everyone has a Patreon now, but for me, you have to understand. For me, I was in that situation, that bubble,
Bubble.
with Machinima and this lucrative contract that I had with Machinima, that I didn't have to ask for donations. I didn't have to ask for anything. And for me, it was just, I just make videos, you watch them, and that's it. And when I had to adopt Patreon, that was a huge step for me and a huge change. But for the most part,
Yeah, and he was able to pocket money and not give anyone anything for Project 7.
I think what's going on with YouTube, with Patreon is very positive, right?
Very positive.
We've got
Very.
events that happen that are fun and unique and different. Think of all the things that I've done since I adopted Patreon that were all events that people told me I should do. Play Minecraft. Oh my God. Did that ever open? Again, another thing. Dumb rock-headed Phil here, who thought that Minecraft sucked and didn't want to listen to anyone, and then I finally played it, and I liked it.
He liked
I
it
thought
so
was
much
actually
he
a
stopped
fun
playing
game.
it.
I understood why people enjoyed the game so much, right?
Yeah,
Different
that's why I
playthroughs
stopped
like
playing it.
Yakuza, right? Yakuza that I never played. Persona that I never played before.
Persona 3.
Marathons. I had never done a marathon before, ever. And now doing these fun marathons of indie games. Tons of indie games that I've been exposed to now.
Marathons.
That I
They're
never
not
would have
really
played for
marathons,
Patreon,
TBH.
you know? All this stuff that came positively
It's not bad, I
out of
guess.
Patreon
Whatever.
is awesome and amazing. So I want to say thank you to those
Thank
who
you.
are,
fucking
supporting me on
worthless
Patreon.
humans.
So even if in this week coming up, I don't get immediately partnered with a new partnership company, okay? I'm still gonna have revenue. The problem is it's not gonna be enough to even pay my bills. Like, I know it won't. I will have to pick and choose what bills get paid and what don't. And my credit is gonna be terrible. And it's not gonna be a good situation. Let's put it that way. It's just not. It's not gonna be a good situation at all.
Take a sip, chew the water.
All right. So, let's talk. Let's talk again. The third option. The first option would be I have to basically get my YouTube channel partnered with someone else right away.
Something.
But I don't know. I really would like that. But that's going to be a subjective thing where someone who works with these companies or is for one of these big partnership companies takes a look at my situation and says it's a negative element, and we're going to accept that I'm going to get turned down by companies.
I'm sorry, this
And
is
they're
a lot of
gonna say no,
redundancy. You don't need to see this.
because of that element. That card I could go to and from every day. No matter what, it's not really gonna work. I can't really get an in real life job right now. I can't.
Yeah, you can.
If I was making enough money where I could afford, 2 cars, then yeah. But no, I'm not in that situation. If I lived, another thing. If I lived right down the street from a major company where I could walk to work or take
He can carpool.
a quick bus or whatever, yeah. But I'm not. I live to get a job in Seattle. To get into Seattle, I have to drive 45 minutes. So I can't even get a job in Seattle.
Get a
I'm
car,
on the outskirts.
dude. When I took a class to be an EMT, you have to take a class, obviously. I carpooled with a guy, we shared cars. We carpooled because it was cheaper and more efficient. Because each one of us didn't have to pay for gas every week or whatever. We had someone else to drive.
Industry and everything, and so
Come
that's the
on.
problem with that. So now let's
Got a
talk
problem
the third
solved.
option.
So,
All right, let's talk the third option.
third option.
All right, all in, meaning yeah, I still have YouTube, and yeah, I'll maybe upload videos to YouTube or whatever, but YouTube isn't my main focus. I really try to primarily focus on being a Twitch streamer. Now, here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
First of all,
All
all right.
right.
First of all,
Okay.
I don't know if I could even do it. And what I mean by that is, from what I've heard, I don't know because I've never done Twitch full time. For me, Twitch is 3 or 4 hours a day streaming, and that's it, right? From what I would understand, people who stream full time, they really kill themselves, all right? Like, they are streaming, some people 8+ hours a day, constantly, all right? The stream, like I've said, but
You don't have to do everything that they do. You could find other ways to do it.
Focus on the gameplay. The most popular people who stream on Twitch today, the streams aren't really about the games they're playing. It's about the personality of the streamer. It's about interaction with...
It's about both. To be completely honest, it's really about both. Because what gets you to the stream is the game. For example, the Poorly Played stream that I talked about earlier. So you're part of a Mega 64 thing, but one of the people there play games. I go there when he plays a game that I like. So, recently he was playing Resident Evil 7. I might go back and watch the stream archives of it because I like Resident Evil 7 and I like the guy and I think it's going to be interesting. There you go.
Stream chat.
But
It's more about that. All right.
More about that, okay.
So potentially what this would have to be is I would have to stream on Twitch, and when I'm streaming, number one, doing a ridiculous amount of streaming. So doubling down. Instead of right now streaming 3-4 hours a day and then doing other stuff at night, all that would have to go away. So that would be it. No more KO gaming, folks.
No more
because
KO
I wouldn't have
gaming.
time to
Rip
review
KO
games.
gaming.
It would be me streaming all day, every day. So it would be 3-4 hours of streaming, take a break for dinner, and then another 2-3 hours of streaming after. So it would be 6-8 hours of streaming a day. All right. The amount of content, all right, that I would, or the type of content, excuse me, that I put out would have to change. Right now, when I play a game, I'm focused on the game. I'm picking this up and I'm playing the game and I'm doing commentary on the game, and I'm not really looking at stream chat, although I do
This commentary
every once in a while. I
Okay.
look at the stream chat and I'm like, okay, here's what's going on, or every once in a while,
Walk back and forth.
I'll react to something that someone says in the stream chat, right? But primarily what I like to do, two things. Number one, by having a stream going and a stream chat open, I can tell that the stream is obviously working properly, because a lot of times things will go wrong. Audio goes out. Now, I can't tell that just sitting here and
Now,
playing
look,
or
right
streaming.
now
I
I
can't
can-
tell that. If I look at stream chat, they'll all
shit.
say, Phil, the audio's out. And oh, shit. And
Look, I can tell you right now, the way I have this stream set up, I have a YouTube dashboard in the background, and I can see the stream status. Right now, it says the stream is bad. And that, I'm like, oh, okay, I see the stream is bad. I'm not like sitting there like, whoa, I don't know. Like, I don't need stream chat to let me know. I'm sure Twitch has an equivalent to that.
I'll go try to fix it. That's number one. But number two, I love to see the live reactions. When I say
But again, I
something,
guess
do something when I'm
it
playing
wouldn't
games,
tell me
something
the
happens
audio,
in
but
the game,
that's on me.
I love seeing the live reactions that happen, okay, from between me and my audience. I love that live interaction. You don't get that on YouTube. All the years that I did YouTube, there was a disconnect. I would sit here playing, and then I would have to wait hours to even see anyone to watch the video and get a reaction out of it. It was like a big disconnect. Now I feel way more interactive and way more social because I get to see those reactions right away, and I love that, okay?
It's weird because I've gotten more interaction on Twitch than I have on YouTube, which kind of pisses me off, kind of sometimes. But maybe I should be streaming on Twitch.
But I would have to change my content because, yeah, basically what people are saying is if you're going to be a full-time streamer on Twitch, you cannot just do the gameplay like I do it. The stream has to be about the viewers. So, yes,
But
I'd be playing the game.
He didn't really change his
Alright, I'd be playing
commentary,
the game,
to be honest.
But
Like, it's still the same
the same
commentary.
time,
Because
that
he
I'm
wants people to talk about stuff he wants to talk about. Which is fucking dumb. He doesn't talk to his viewers. He doesn't ask them questions. They have to be the ones talking to him directly. It's a one-way conversation with him. It's never a two-way street with him.
the game, I would have to constantly be interacting with the stream chat, looking over here and be saying, oh, so-and-so said this, oh, answering questions, having running commentary when someone reacts to something going on in the stream chat.
Stream chat, okay.
I'd have to basically go back and forth and say, that sadly, this is this or this is, and then, the game's gonna take a back seat. The game would take a back seat, which is what most of these popular streamers on Twitch do. Whenever someone gives a shout out, whenever someone gives a bits, all right, whenever someone subs, I'm gonna have to find a way to have an integration where there's a pop-up that says thank you to so-and-so for cheering, thank you for subbing, or I'm gonna have to stop and do it myself, right? And turn and say, gee, thanks for thank you for the shout out or the stream. By the way, everyone is trolling me right now. Literally, everyone is trolling me right now in the stream chat saying there's no audio, and I know there is because a few people said no, they're trolling. There's audio. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like what I do would have to change completely, and I don't know how that would be accepted. I don't know. Like, let's say for example, this week, Horizon, we've got coming up a Nier Automata. If I were to change it to just be, yes, I'm playing the game, but I'm interacting constantly, right? I don't know how that would be accepted. Would people embrace that? Because I know a lot of Twitch streamers like that, or a lot of Twitch viewers like that. But I don't know that it's going to translate for me. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a huge learning curve because I've done this for 8 years. Say that again. I've done
8
years.
years
For me to have to completely change the way that I'm putting out content for a new audience. viewer and say, come on in, my content's completely changed, it's a more interactive deal now, and it'd be different. Now, again, what would happen here, if that were to be the case, and that's what I did, okay, and I became a full-time streamer on Twitch, all right?
God, this video is so dull.
My YouTube presence would probably dwindle, because the bottom line is, people love to watch me do games on YouTube, but when you see the videos I'm uploading to YouTube,
you still upload them to YouTube
me
anyway.
interacting with chat 95% of the time and not really a focus on the game I'm playing, people are going to lose interest. They're going to say, well, I've watched Phil since 2008 because he plays games and he does playthroughs and he's there, and this is going to show me a raw example of what the game is like, right, and his reactions to it. When all of a sudden that changes, more than likely I'm going to lose.
Why is it always a one or the other with him? Like you can do social commentary and react to the game at the same time. It's really not that hard. Like, this guy, and I said this when he went back to Twitch, that he was gonna ham it up on Twitch. He was gonna do the most generic shit. He's not gonna be an actual, like, streamer or, whatever. He's just gonna be like, well, this is what I think Twitch streamers are, and be that. And that's what he is. That's what he's trying to be. So, GG.
On viewership on YouTube. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I might go up on Twitch, right? I might actually start getting more people coming in, and the situation could be great, but then my whole YouTube situation could end up not being so great. Okay?
Okay.
And that would be bad.
That would be bad, even though you just said it would be good.
Obviously, no matter what, if I stay on, if I do decide to do Twitch full time, okay, then I'm gonna still keep YouTube. I'm not gonna get rid of YouTube. That'd be ridiculous, because you can't just stream everything. You gotta have videos at multiple platforms or whatever. You gotta diversify. But
what?
Would it be enough? Would I be able to get within, say, a couple weeks? That's the other thing too. This would have to be within 2 to 3 weeks of me doing this on Twitch. I would have to have an audience that's coming back consistently, that's cheering consistently.
He already expects this, though. Like, even during, like, last year when he went to Twitch, he was expecting consistent cheers and shit. Like, he literally was expecting that. Like, one of the last Guardian streams I came in on, he was like, oh, wow, today was terrible financially. I didn't make a lot of money today. It wasn't very profitable. He has that mentality right now.
That's subbing consistently. That's participating, so that I'm making the money that I was making on YouTube. Right now,
okay,
the money that I'm making on Twitch is good, but it's nowhere near what I was making on YouTube at all. Okay, I was making way more on YouTube, but it's good because I got Twitch, I've got Patreon, and I've got YouTube. So between all of that,
I got all these lifelines.
I'm able to make ends meet.
Now you got Teespring. Take a sip. Chew the energy drink. So let me take another sip and chew the water. So
that's kind of the deal with me right now. Let me summarize for you. I'll summarize. I know I've been talking for over an hour now. All right.
I'm gonna stop streaming.
Right now, I'm basically in the same situation that I was in 2010 when I got laid off from my job, my office job. I don't know what I want to do with my life, with my future. I'm in a unique situation here, where there are many options, but none of them are glaringly the right option to take. And it's a very risky venture no matter what I do. I could try to get partnered with another company on YouTube to replace Machinima, whose contract is going to run out within a few days here. Okay. But that's going to be a tough endeavor because of views, and it can make a lot of money. But at the same time, there's this negative element that follows Phil around that he's tried to shake. It doesn't work. It's trolling is all. He's going to take me under their wing. That's one option I could take, is back to business as usual. The usual stuff, streaming, playing, and everything as it was, right? And hopefully we can turn things around. I'm already making shorter videos, so hopefully that'll fix the ad revenue problem on YouTube. And moving forward. Obviously, that's the best case scenario. That's the best case. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Option number 2, try to somehow find a job that's going to hire me that I can somehow get to day in and day out without a car every day. Right? It's going to be a night. Number 1, being out of the job in the competitive market. So it's going to be very hard, number 1, for me to even get the job. And then number 3, I could try to do Twitch streaming full time. Okay. I'll be on stream more.
Okay. I'm sorry. This is... No, we're done here. He literally like this is like my third time watching this. By the way, I watched it the first time when it was up. Then I watched it again when I was doing an actual endure of this. I'm not. No, because the pretty much he just says the same shit. He says why he doesn't want to do this. It's really nothing that substantial. If you want to see the full thing, I recommend checking out Tevin's video. Tevin has the. I'll put that in the description as well. But this is as far as I'm going. This video is garbage, garbage. It needs to be shorter. 2 hours is fucking ridiculous for this video, and all it was him saying like making excuses why he can't get a job and why he wants to do Twitch streaming. That's basically what this video was. It was him to announce he's doing Twitch streaming and to beg for partnerships. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if you're disappointed that I didn't watch the rest. But I really, really guarantee you literally missed nothing. All the ridiculous stuff he already said it. He was just gonna repeat the same shit anyway. So, thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.